Word of God in the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, the 28th verse, reads, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh. And your sons and daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit." Get ready for the latter rain.
Hello, I'm Bishop Ricky Holmes, and welcome to the broadcast. Will the church be raptured before the tribulation period? Will it be raptured in the middle of the tribulation period? Or will it be raptured at the conclusion of the tribulation period? Great scholars down throughout history have debated this issue, and of course, I am not so deluded as to think I could settle this controversy in this video cast. About the best I can hope for is to present to you, the viewer, a reason for the hope that lies within me, according to 1 Peter 3:15, and give you the opportunity to make your own conclusion. Now, having said that, I am a pre-tribulationist. I believe that the rapture will occur before the tribulation period. The reason why I hold this viewpoint, as opposed to mid or post-tribulation, will be the crux of this study. Now, there are several reasons why I believe the pre-tribulation viewpoint is the only correct viewpoint in the answer to when will the rapture take place in relation to the tribulation. First of all, there is the silent church. Second, the nature of the tribulation period. Third, the teachings of Christ concerning the tribulation, Christ's promise to the church, and Paul's teaching on the subject of the rapture. These are strong pieces of evidence that I believe support a pre-tribulation view. We will look at each of these arguments individually. First, there is the silent church. In Revelation 1 through 3, the church is mentioned 19 times. When we get to chapters 4 through 18, the church is no longer mentioned. At a time when the world is going through great tribulation, you would expect the church to be vocal and visible during this period of suffering. And yet, during this tribulation period, there is no mention of the church, no word from the church. The church is strangely silent for 19 chapters. I believe that the church is silent because the church is no longer present on earth. I believe that the church during this period of time has been located or relocated to heaven by means of a rapture. Opponents of the pre-tribulation viewpoint argue that there is no evidence that the church is in heaven during the tribulation period. I think there is. I think that the evidence of the church being in heaven during this tribulation period is given to us in the form of 24 elders mentioned by the Apostle John in Revelations 4 and 4. There, the Apostle John writes these words: "Around the throne were 24 thrones, and upon the thrones I saw 24 elders, sitting, clothed in white garments, and golden crowns were on their heads." The description that the apostle gives of these 24 elders, I believe, is symbolic of the glorified church. There is their title. John describes them as elders. The Greek word that is used in this text is the word presbyteros. It is from this word that we get the word Presbyterian. Now, because the angels are not Presbyterians, the word presbyteros is never referred to or used in reference to angels. It is instead a term representative of the church. There is their number. There are 24 elders, representing the 24 groups of priests that served in the temple under the Levitical system. Again, we have a reference to the church. There is their position. They are seated upon thrones. Angels are never described as sitting upon thrones. However, the privilege of sitting upon the throne is a privilege promised to the church in Revelation 3:21. There are the crowns in which they are wearing. Angels are never said to be wearing crowns. However, Christ does promise his church that they will be adorned with crowns. There is their clothing. John describes them as being adorned in white robes. Again, this is in reference to the church, for angels are never described in such a manner. And there is the song in which they are singing. John says that they are singing a song that only the church itself can sing, for it is a song of redemption. And because angels were never redeemed, only the church can sing this type of song. The silent church, the 24 elders around the throne of God. I believe that these two references give us irrefutable evidence that the church will not be on earth during the tribulation period. Instead, the church will be relocated in heaven during this period of time by means of a pre-tribulation rapture. The very nature of the tribulation period itself demands a pre-tribulation rapture. The Great Tribulation period will be a time of divine wrath. It will be that time when God pours out his righteous indignation upon the world. The church is the bride of Jesus Christ. It is inconceivable that Jesus Christ will allow the church, his precious bride, to be subject to his wrath. I believe that the nature of the tribulation period itself requires that Jesus Christ first remove his church, his precious bride, from off of the face of the earth before pouring out his judgment upon the world. Christ will not allow the church to be subject to his wrath.